Today's math lesson is Chapter 11, Lesson 3, Adding Negatives. So what we're going to learn how to do today is add and subtract negatives. We all know how to do a problem like 7 plus 3. It's easy. They're both positive, so you're going to get 10. What that means, if you're on a number line, and 0's right here, you're starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're going forward 3 more because it says plus, and you're going forward 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and you land at 10. That's all there is to it, right? If you have $7, you add $3, you get $10. Not tough stuff. Well, today we're going to do two different things. We're going to do a problem like -7 plus -3. We're going to do a problem like -7 plus 3. So we're going to use a couple different things. We're going to use a couple different ways to learn this. So we're going to take that problem, -7 plus 3. So, one thing we can do is we can just use our number line. 0's over here. We learned about number lines going negative yesterday. We're going to start at this first number, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're at -7, and then we're going to add 3. So all that means is we're adding. Remember, if we go this way, we're getting bigger. Go this way, we're getting smaller. So since we're adding, we're going to go plus 3. So all we're going to do, 1, 2, 3. So my answer would be, I'm still in negative, and I'm at -4. That's all there is to it. What if you turn it around? Well, what if you had it? Where's my eraser? Well, what if we flip that around and we had 3 plus a -7? Well, that would mean that we would have started at 3 right here, and we would have added a -7. Well, adding a negative is the same as subtracting. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go, we have positive 3 right here, and then we're going to go -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, no matter how we do it, we're going to end up at -4. Not too hard. If you are having trouble with this concept, I highly recommend using this number line. If you can use a number line, you'll ace it. But guess what? Now I'm going to show you a trick. Actually, I'm going to show you a trick after a second. Now, what if I have -2 plus a -7? Well, if we're starting at -2, 1, 2, we're starting there. We're adding a -7, so that means we're adding 7 onto that. That doesn't mean we're going this way. That means we're going this way, right? We have -2 and we're adding -7 on there. So we're going to go backwards 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which would bring us to -9. So there's another instance for your number line. So when you are using a number line, if you're adding a negative, all you're doing is subtracting. So you can use your number line. Another thing you can do is you can use positive and negative chips. Which is something that we'll do in class. For example, let's say we have -3 plus 5. Well, if we have 3 negatives, these red ones are going to be negatives for us. And we're going to add 5 green ones, 5 positives. We're going to add those on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have 5 positives and I have 3 negatives. Well, I think we can all agree that if we have 1 positive plus 1 negative, then that equals 0, right? If we add 1 and then subtract 1, that's going to be 0, obviously. So all we're going to do here is apply that. If we have a +1 and a -1 here, we can cross those out because they're going to cancel each other out to be 0. Same thing here, same thing here, and what we're left with is 2 positive, so our answer is 2. They're about to get in a fight for a second night in a row. Girls, I was embarrassed at you yesterday. The kids couldn't believe how loud you were slamming that door in your fight. And Bean, they all know you got locked up. Let's not let that happen again. Anyways, they're not listening at all. Anyways, your answer would be 2. So, that's another way we can do this. Think about it. What if I changed this 5 to a -5? What if I did -3 plus a -5? Well, all that would mean is you have three negatives like we did before. 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to add on if that's a negative. If we do negative 3 plus negative 5, all it means is we're going to add on another negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means we have negative 8. Pretty easy stuff. Now I'm going to teach you the shortcuts of how to do that. When you're adding, if you have 8 plus 4, you know all you have to do is add those two together to get 12. That's because both of those numbers are positive numbers. Now, we don't have to write those pluses next to the number whenever it's positive. If it doesn't have a negative sign, then we just assume that it's positive, right? Okay, so if we have positive and positive, then all we do is add together and we get the number. Well, the same thing would work if they were negative. If we have negative 8 plus negative 4, all we're going to do is we're going to take that sign, keep it since they're both negative, and we're going to add the digits together. 8 plus 4 is 12. Now you can test that with a number line, you can test that with your green and red dots, but I promise you that's the truth. So if they're both positive, like we tried before, all you're going to do is add them, and you're going to keep the sign, which was positive. If they're both negative, then all you're going to do is you're going to add them and keep the sign. Now here's the tricky part. What if one's negative and one's positive? Let's say we take negative 8 plus 4. Here's the trick. Look at the digit that is larger. Is 8 or 4 larger? 8 is larger. What is the sign of the 8? It's negative, so we're going to take that sign. Then we're going to find the difference between 8 and 4. And so all we're going to do is 8 minus 4, and that's going to give us negative 4. Here's why that works. If we start out at 0, we're starting out at negative 8. The reason we're starting out at negative 8 on the negative one is because that digit is further away from 0. So we're going to start out at negative 8, and then we're going to add 4. Now you see that we are still going to be in the negatives. We're just going to take away those 4 from the negative side, and we'll end up at negative 4. That's how that works. So, anytime you have a positive and a negative and you're adding them, for example, and it doesn't matter the order, if we have 5 plus a negative 3, look at the two digits. Which one's larger? The 5 is larger, so we're going to take the sign of the positive, since that 5 is positive, and then we're just going to do 5 minus 3, so our answer is going to be 2. Okay, it's practice time. I'm going to give you a couple problems from each one. First one, negative 3 plus 7. Pause and solve. Okay, so the 7 is bigger than the 3, and the sign of the 7 is positive. So all we're going to do is 7 minus 3 is 4. Our answer is going to be positive 4. Let's try another one. Negative 12 plus 9. Pause and solve. Okay, so which digit is bigger, 12 or 9? The 12 is a bigger digit. Now, I know that 9 is actually bigger. We're just looking at the digits for this, though. The 12 is a bigger digit, so we're going to take the negative, since that means it's farther from 0. It's going to be negative, and then we're just going to do 12 minus 9 is 3, so our answer is negative 3. Let's try two more here. Negative 3 plus negative 7. Think about the rule. If you need to rewind it, go ahead. Pause and solve. Okay, this time, since they are both negative, we're going to keep that negative sign, and we're just going to add the two digits together. So it's negative 10. Okay, one last one for the road. What if we have negative 11 plus negative 20? Have that one solved for tomorrow or the next time you have math class. See ya.